What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We're back once again, and we're going to be talking about, surprisingly, Sabrina, Season 2, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, whichever one you prefer. Now, I'm really going to dive into this. I'm really going to pick this piece by piece of what I liked, what I did not like about it. And there is a lot about this that took me by storm. Now, there ain't no surprise that this did debut about a year or so ago, so it really goes into further mystery of what's been going on with this show. Now, season 2 went up and down for me a lot. I'm going to try to go into different things that really made no sense, that I thought was absolutely crazy, and I don't even know what to say, because first off, let me say some of the things that happen, of course, now that Sabrina it sign her name in the Book of the Beast. Also see her trying to do things after he wants her to burn her school. Then she later wants to try things out with Harvey. And there's a lot, and I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. I personally didn't. I'm getting really tired of Sabrina's friends, and I'm going to tell you guys this on the reason why I'm saying this is because, one, the way they portray her friends in one light and then they switch it in another manner, and I know that's how writing is, I know that's how a story goes, but at the same time, they really brought a lot into this season that made no sense of why this would happen. Like, for example, Sabrina later in, spoilers, finding out that she is the so-called daughter of Satan, which made no sense. It's like they were building up to that. I feel like they were, but at the same time they weren't, which again made no sense to me. I don't know why they did that. I thought that was very kind of poor excuse, because again, why would you do that? And again, it made no sense of her being the so-called daughter, but at the same time with her being very powerful. It kind of goes hand in hand, and also still the mystery of who exactly killed her parents, as well as also why is she so powerful and who is her real family. Is Edward her real father? Is her mother? And later come to find out that apparently that her parents were killed in a plane crash, and then Sabrina asks her new boyfriend Nick, which I will dive into, about to gather things from her father's whereabouts, where where the plane went down, to gather his manuscript of what her father wanted to do with the Church of Night, as well as change things and not have it back to the old ways like we saw with Father Blackwood. Which I'm gonna say this, Father Blackwood really annoyed me this entire season. I was waiting for him to get his just desserts, so to speak. Him taking advantage of Zelda, taking advantage of Sabrina, very, very misogynist, very old school, very wanting to have power over any woman or anybody in general, was very annoying. I cannot wait to see him die, but unfortunately, I guess they're still trying to make him the main villain. Now, there were parts of him that I was happy to see him go, because finding out first off about getting his place torn down by, he was not going to be the anti-pope, he was not going to be after killing him, using Ambrose to do so, which Ambrose, he went through a massive transition this season, which I will get to in a second. He also used Zelda to get what he wanted, because he wanted her and also bear more children, finally giving his oldest daughter the Blackwood name, which really shocked me, because I didn't think he was going to. And then we also get to see where he finally figures out later on in the season that he has a daughter, and then he proposes, which was absolutely disgusting, that he was wanting to have the daughter marry her own brother, which that literally made me, not just my stomach churn, but it also made me go, are you kidding me? But at the same time, we also got to see Ambrose really not only got his freedom, but he also was shown the light of who Father Blackwood is, who his loyalties really lie to, of course, to his family, to his cousin, and he was able, unfortunately, he got framed at one point, and then was able to make his debut back into the school, the Church of Night, as well as also be able to become better. And then we get to see Father Blackwood go on the run after Prudence finally comes to the light. And Prudence did have a come to transition as well, where she's still a bitch. I'm not gonna lie about that. Her and the other two sisters are still bitches, and they're still very mean and everything. But we do see where they go through this massive, where Prudence just wants to be told what to do, and she still wants power. But at the same time, we see the other two sisters. They want power, but they follow Prudence, which they are all followers. They don't know how to follow without a leader. And we also get to see where they fight for over the character Nick. But Nick, he really was back and forth, with my opinion. He seemed like the so-called guy that almost every witch wanted in this season, even the series. And he falls for Sabrina after she does find out that the Dark Lord made her, of course, made him basically go after Sabrina, but then he fell for her, and then he regretted going to do that. And after, though they do get together in the show, after Harvey does break up with her because he finds out she's a witch, he doesn't want nothing to do with her, which was absolutely retarded. I must say this right now, it was so stupid, because he's like, oh, I don't like this, I don't want nothing to do with you, I don't want this. Okay, she helps him with his father, she helps her friend Susie go, and then now to Theo, become a basketball star, and then helps also her other friend Susie regain her eyesight, and yet she's still the bad guy. That makes no sense to me. And Harvey is one of those, of course, and I know these are teenagers, so guys, don't try to get me too much. But this just not made no sense to me. I'm like, okay, why supposedly you love Sabrina so much, want to be with her, and then say, okay, well, we're done, and then next thing you know, it's like, okay, well, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. So it really made me go back and forth of, what exactly are you going to do? Like, why are you saying, oh, I don't love her, but yet you clearly still do, and you go after her best friend, and yet you're telling this girl that you love her, and why? Didn't make no sense. Harvey made no sense this season at all, and at the very last minute, he's wanting to be a warrior for Sabrina and to be her friend. All of a sudden now, since he got the stick out of his ass, I'm sorry, that's some poor writing. And same thing with her her so-called best friend Susie, with her losing her eyesight, then gaining her eyesight back, and then supposedly knowing more about her power, and then getting with Harvey. That was kind of two-faced in my opinion. And then of course Susie, aka Theo, she makes this big transition. And honestly, out of the three, she was the most, or he, however you want to describe this character, was the most badass out of the group. I think that Theo was the most badass out of the group, that was willing to still be there for Sabrina through everything, and really stuck by her side and gave her the benefit of the doubt, even after Harvey and Susie shred her aside, because Sabrina was still having troubles going back and forth between the Church of Night as well as regular school. And we also find, of course, with Lilith having a relationship Lucifer did not care for, so he did kill him, which was really crazy. And then also seeing Lilith finally admit to Sabrina who she is, as well as the aunts as well. And honestly, that was kind of cool, because we get to see more of a backstory with Lilith as well as Lucifer in this version, which I did enjoy. Now, I will say, on the Lucifer standpoint, I was very disappointed by the actor. I was like, I don't really consider this person to play as a Lucifer, because the ones I'm so used to is Tom Ellis, of course, in Lucifer, the series on Netflix, as well as Mark Pillow on Supernatural. So them, to me, are probably the best versions of Lucifer that I've seen. I didn't really particularly care for this Lucifer, but again, it's kind of interesting of how dark they do get the series to a certain degree, which could be a little bit better, again, out of my opinion, but again, this is only my opinion. Now, going back towards the aunts, I'm going to say once again, I love Hilda. Hilda is probably my favorite aunt of the series. Zelda went back and forth for me this season. She went from a power-hungry bitch to also a very soft side, which she does not show very often, and she finally gets literally the head out of her ass, honestly, from out of Father Blackwood, when she finally sees how he is, after of course he takes control of her at one point, and she finally sees how he is, and also she wants power, but at the same time she also sees everything she believed in, everything she wanted was a lie. And same thing with Hilda. Hilda finally gets with a someone in the show who is possessed by a sex demon incubus, which I found pretty funny. She also gets her own job. Hilda really matters in her own hands. She doesn't take no BS. She's there for her niece and nephew. She's there for her sister no matter what, and she's extremely loyal. And that's the one thing I can say about Hilda. She's extremely loyal. Zelda, she is loyal, but at the same time, you never know what she's going to do. But when her family needs her, at the end of the day, she does come for her family. I will give her that. But at the same time, Zelda just still comes across very snobby, but also she wants to show her soft side when it suits her, not when she actually wants to, but when it suits her. So, again, back and forth between Zelda and Hilda, but I did enjoy that. Now, I will say for Nick, again, the Nick and Harvey situation was your typical teen drama of, oh, I like two people, but I don't know who to choose from. So you can see that in the show as well. But the way that they're having this is, of course, at the very end, Nick showing how much he loves Sabrina, and also with his power, bringing Lucifer into him and going back into hell to trap him there. And, of course, obviously, Sabrina, she wants to go bring him back in season 3, which I'm in right now. And of course, now we have supposedly where her friends now want to be, helping her through all this. And we also get to see how powerful Sabrina is at the same time, which obviously she could do this on her own, but she doesn't want to, and she still would need the help of her friends because they are the ones that kept the gates of hell closed to a certain degree until Sabrina was able to do what she was able to do. So everyone does have their own parts, and I will say this, I find it really interesting at the very end how Prudence as well as Ambrose go hunting after Father Blackwood, and I cannot wait to see what's going to happen, because I hope Father Blackwood somehow does die. I really hope that character dies. I cannot stand that character. There's other characters I would like to see get a little more shine. There's other characters I would like to see go very quickly. I'm also wanting to see any character development. There's a lot of character development so far within a lot of these characters, but at the same time, I do not agree with some of the writing. Some of the way they did it didn't make no sense. And of course, yes, I know this is a teen drama show. It's just a show, but again, this is my own opinion of the show. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, let me know what you guys' thoughts are about this in the comments down below. If you guys are new to the channel, consider about subscribing. Leave down just below. Let me know what you guys thought about Season 2 of The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Have you watched it? Do you watch it? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Was Season 2 a great season for you? Just because I enjoyed it to a certain degree does not mean you did or you didn't. So let me know what your thoughts are about this in the comments down below. I'm going to continue with Season 3 because it's actually picking up to a certain degree where I'm actually wanting to continue to watch it. So let me know what you guys think about it thus far. Don't try to spoil anything for Season 3 for me, please. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Leave a big fat like on the video. That helped me out, to help you guys out. Spread the word about this. Let me know what you guys think once again in the comments. We'll talk about it, and I'll see you on the very next one.